Hey guys, Gary from DIY Electronics. I just wanted to give you an intro to this video. What had happened was it's been a long time coming, and I just keep on forgetting about fixing it. But the sight glass on my 275-gallon number 2 oil tank for my furnace broke and is leaking. I don't know if it happened this year or last year, but a big icicle came down and smashed on top of the tank, and it broke the sight glass off, and I just never got around to fixing it. And recently we had a real bad wind rainstorm, and over time just so much water got past the seals down by that sight glass and just started pouring into my oil tank. And of all times, with no power, and I'm running on a generator, my furnace sucks up a bunch of water. So what this video is I'm walking you through the process of how to rid your oil tank for your furnace of water when water gets in there. And I just walk through the whole process with you the best I can. I'm not a YouTube professional. I just try to get my point across to help you guys out. So some of the shots are going to be out of focus, and I was really stressed those couple of days. We finally got power back yesterday. It was just a very stressful situation, but I didn't want to waste that time either doing something that I can help others in the same situation. So it was kind of, you'll see as you look at the videos. But if you ever do have water in your tank, watch this video and you'll have a very good grasp of what entails of getting that water out of your tank and doing it yourself, because I couldn't imagine how much a plumber or heating guy would charge you to get the water out of that tank and then to purge your oil burner. So hang in there, and I'm going to put you on pause and be right back to the beginning of that video. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, ring that bell, subscribe, and it's all about you. Thanks, guys. Hey, guys. Gary from DIY Electronics. What I'm going to try to focus for you guys first. I'm in Maine, and we just went through a really bad windstorm, rainstorm. And what had happened was all the snow melted off my roof right up there. It curled around, and I didn't realize it, but the sight glass on my oil tank is broken. Alright, it's broken and the seal is gone. So what's been happening is, during the storm, all of the snow melted off of my roof. It rolled down on top of my tank, hit that broken seal, and went into my tank. Now, I've been running my generator for 3 days now because we have no power. So it got real cold last night. It got to about 19. So I cranked on the heater, ran for about 2-3 seconds, and shut off. I reset it, ran for about 2-3 seconds, after it started, and shut off. I go, what if it's not getting enough power? So I checked the power from the generator, of course, and it was 112 volts. That's plenty to get it running. So I decided to bleed it. And when I bled it, hang on a second, let me see. I'm gonna get this here. This is what I got out of it right here. This big bucket. Let me get a dip of it and show you the color of it. All right, that is diesel fuel. Well, number 2 home heating fuel mixed with water. Okay, so how you go about getting water out of one of these tanks, and I've done it before and it works pretty good. I've done it here when I first bought this home, because I had another tank and it was full of water. So the first thing you want to do is right here. Go on the this is where the fuel comes out and goes into the house. The first thing you want to do is go right here, put a car jack underneath the tank, and pick the tank up. Alright, so that's going to put the tank at this kind of level. And what it does is it pushes it, because water is heavier than the fuel, and the water goes down to the bottom. Then I take one of these big Tupperware, or whatever you got, one of these big Tupperware things, and matter of fact, hang on one second, I'm going to pour this back into the tank, and I'm going to show you what is left after I pour it in. So I'm going to pour it in right here. I'm going to have to stop you guys for a second, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I poured that into my tank, and this is what's left. Look at that, see all that congealed stuff? It's water mixed with oil that is freezing. That's water and oil freezing, okay? So what I do is, I'm just going to bring this over and put it in the bucket. I don't want to pour this on my ground. I pour it in there, make sure it's good, and I'm going to take a rag, I'm going to clean this out, because I want to see what comes out next. Then, like I said, I keep on doing this until I got just about all the water out. So now I took the filter out. I mean, the filter is disgusting. This is where the filter goes, right up under here. So I got the filter out. Now right here, I'm going to turn the oil back on. I'm going to let it rush out and fill this bucket again. Alright. Keep going. Alright, that's enough for right now. And then you turn this back. Alright, you turn it to the right, it closes it. Turn it to the left, opens it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this out, and I'm going to let it sit on the ground for a couple of minutes, because I've agitated everything and I want the water to settle to the bottom of that. And then I'm going to pour off the good fuel back into the tank, and I'm going to discard all of the crap in the bottom. So I'm going to pause again, and I'll be right back, and I'll show you what is left in the bottom of that. Okay guys, I waited a couple minutes. Alright, now look, you see that dark spot right in the bottom? That's all kinds of boogies and water and whatever else is off the bottom of your tank. Alright, now let me show you inside. And you see that? You got those yellow boogies again. So I gotta keep on cleaning this tank. Alright, so let's go over, let's get another alright, yeah, all the boogies are out. I'm not gonna bother wiping it out this time. Alright, you put it right here on the bottom. You turn this to the left. Yeah. Open that thing wide up. Got to get a good force out. And by the time you get it closed, it stops rolling. Yeah, give it a little bit more. Okay. Let's just look at the bottom of this. Yeah, see, you got every time you do that, you got to wait. Let it sit for a couple of minutes, then come back and take a look. Oh, I don't know what happened to my, maybe the lens, I think the lens got kind of foggy. Alright, I'll be back guys. Okay guys, I just got another bucket out of there, and look at all of the, it's all coming out of the bottom of the tank. Congealed water. It's kind of like half frozen, half congealed, mixed with the oil. And you got to get that out of your tank. So I'm going to keep on going, guys. And I'll get back to you once it starts clearing up. Be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. And I emptied that thing out, 15 times. And I got to the point where
I was still getting water out, but not that much to worry about. Hopefully it'll get right through the nozzle and burn. So let me show you where I started and where I ended up. So the one here on the left, that's where I started, and that's where I ended up after I cleared it all out. That was coming out of the tank now, and that's what was coming out of the tank before I started. Alright, well, as soon as I started, that came out, and then finally it cleared up. I got quite a bit of water out. Alright, and before, if you looked at my tank, there was a my hose was wrapped around it. I get rid of that hose just so you don't have to look at the hose. That's what it was. That's where I store my hose. But anyways, I got an old shower curtain over there that I'm going to cover the tank up with after to you know, keep the water out until I get around to buying a new sight glass and you know, the float and the whole 9 yards, and get that sealed up. So I'm going to cover it with that old shower curtain. So now the next thing you got to do after you get done getting all the water out is you got to get yourself a new filter. Now mine, I'm using a 88 CR, which is a replacement for a 1A 25B, and that's what goes inside this filter housing right here. So let me put you down, and because I'm gonna need both hands for this. Let's see if you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, you should be able to. Right there. So I open up the new filter. And it comes with a new gasket for the top of this, and that's the old filter there. Remember I showed you it was just full of gunk. So here's the old filter, the old seal. I put the new seal down, and I put the new filter, I believe. Let me just make sure. I can always forget which way these goes. It goes with this little cone thing up, and that sits right down inside. Okay, and then here's your long bolt. Okay, and that goes down and it'll go into the bottom of this. So that go like that. You just get this thing in there started. I gotta get this cone up inside there. Let me just make sure that it does go that way. I'm almost positive it does. Yes, it does. I'm just gonna finagle it up in there. Get in there. You just gotta find the threads. Oop, almost had it. It doesn't want to go. I know it doesn't go that way. Yeah, it does not go that way. Things are always fighting me. These new ones do. Alright, get down on there. You get in there. There we go. I just had to find the right spot. Then it's a 5/8. That's what mine is. Tighten it up. And then don't forget to open your valve. Left, open it up all the way. Alright, all the way. And there you are. Guys, that is how you drain out the water in your number 2 fuel oil tank when you accidentally get some water in there. I have a feeling a lot of what happened was maybe I had some big icicles up there, came down and broke that too. But I'm gonna maybe build a shack over the oil tank this spring. Alright, so just refresh your memory to get the water out. Put a car jack on one end of the tank. You put it on the end that does not have your spigot. And what that does is it put your tank at a slant, and that will force all the water to collect down to the bottom, and the fuel oil will float on top of it. And then you take your filter out and just continuously keep on draining it until you know, you get all that junk and the water and whatever else is inside your tank out. Replace the filter, put it back on like I just did. Now we're going to go inside. I'm going to show you how to bleed the furnace. And most likely I'm going to have to replace the nozzle on this furnace also. But I want to bleed it first and get good fuel going through. Alright, and then I will make another, maybe a part 2 of replacing the nozzle. Alright, so anyways guys, what I'm going to have to do is I got to go in, I got to start up my generator, because you remember we just had a storm and I have no power. I'm doing this with no power, mainly because it's going to be really cold tonight and I got to get this furnace running. Alright guys, I will be back with bleeding the line from the oil tank to the furnace, and I'll be back. Okay guys, now for my furnace. It's a Miller. I'm not sure the model number. I'll look at the door once I open it up. So let's bleed this, okay, and we'll get all of the old watery fuel out of the line. I did a lot of it last night, so you're not going to see too much of that watery stuff coming in, but let's get to it. So right over here, I got to make sure that I turn my furnace back on. I shut it off last night because I didn't want the furnace sucking up any more of that bad fuel. Alright, let's open her up. And let me just look on here what type this is. Yeah, it's a model number. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can focus you on it, so you know what I'm working on. It says a CMF2 80PO. That might be convertible, maybe, but that's the model number of Miller I'm working on. Alright, so let me get you in position and let's bleed this. So right now, it's flashing saying, hey, I got a problem. Alright, it's just flashing one single line, and that's just telling you that's a burner failure, which I found out last night it's water in the line. Okay, so let's go down here, and I'm going to back you all the way out as I can. We're going to focus you. Now to bleed this, you're going to need a bucket and a 5/16 open-end wrench. Alright, now that 5/16, oh, you know what, I gotta get a flashlight. I got one right here. That 5/16 wrench, okay, there's a tube that comes down on mine anyways, not necessarily yours. Okay, I'm gonna put my bucket under here, and there's a tube that comes off of a bleeder valve off of your motor. I think that's what they call it. And this little tube I put on here will go into the bucket when I bleed it. So the first thing you want to do is open that bleeder valve. So this one's, you know, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So I'm going to turn it to the left. If I can get my wrench in there. Oh, come on. What's this, not 5/16 maybe? No, it's not 5/16. Hang on one second, guys. Alright, I'm back, guys. Come to find out, these newer Beckett burners are 11/32nd bleeder screws. Okay? So, again, I'm going to put the wrench on the bleeder screw. Come on. I can't get my hands to work with just... Let's see if I can get this end of it on there. Yep, there we go. Alright, I got it loose. Alright. Put that in the barrel there. Now up here, let me just shut this off for a second. Up here where it's flashing, I'm going to just hit it once. and that starts bleeding out the system. Alright, and I want to bleed out all of that stuff. Oh, you see that? Oh, look at all that water coming through. Yuck! Yucky yuck. And just let it keep on bleeding until clear. Oh, here we go. Alright, it only gives you about 30 seconds of prime. So what you have to do to get it to go again is up here, press and hold it, and it'll do it again for you. Alright, so now, once it's coming out nice and clear like that, you want to shut the bleeder valve. Alright, I'm just going to twist it by hand here. And then I'm going to tighten it up. And if everything's alright, your burner should start burning. Let me just tighten that up, so it's not sucking air. And I'm going to look through this little door right here. Yep, the burner has fired up. Let's see if it stays running. Because if it doesn't stay running, that means that the nozzle grabbed some crap. Sounding good so far, guys. Come on, baby. This is still burning. Yep, still burning. So you see it in there, guys? Not burning too good, but it is fired up. And that green light means that it says flame. It means that it is sensing flame. I'm just waiting for it to turn the blower on. Then I know that I did my job properly. So anyways, guys, that's what you do. You know, here's the bleeder screw right down in here. And make sure after you get it done bleeding that you got it good and, you know, good and tight. And just to show you, this is how you turn your fuel on and off with this knob, just like the one out there on your tank. Alright guys, I think I'm all set. Oh yeah, she's firing now. But that is how you get all of the oil. I mean, whoop, see that? It just turned on. Ah ha ha ha! It didn't kick off, so it likes that new fuel coming through. So guys, that is how you rid your oil tank and the line going to your furnace of water, if you ever get water in there. And you really should do this at least every couple of years, because just condensation will build up in that tank and cause problems. Alright, any questions, comments, whatnot, leave them down below. But ring the bell, thumbs up, buy me a coffee, subscribe, and there'll be more coming for you guys. I appreciate every one of you. Thanks for watching.